Morning all, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe. It's Saturday, June the 20th. Some news this morning, not tons of news. All that happened yesterday with Disney and their reservation system being unveiled. Let's get to the news right now. So I'm not going to talk about that reservation system. I did a whole separate video on that which I released last night, so I'm going to link to that up there now. Please don't go away from the news. Have a look at that after you've watched this one. Come back to that one. US cases up yesterday, the worst it's been for a while, but deaths still trending down. Still great news for deaths. Florida daily, another massive spike yesterday, nearly 4,000, but hospitalizations and deaths are lagging behind. We are going to expect a little lag between cases being established and then people getting really sick and then people dying, so watch out for that in the stats. Ron DeSantis though doesn't seem to mind. He says that wearing masks shouldn't be mandatory. That's a constitutionally protected thing apparently, that he doesn't want people to have to wear a mask. Okay, Ron. Weather, it's going to be fairly hot next week. It's up to 94, a low of 92 during the daytime, so it's going to be steamy. High humidity as well, and the rain usually can come in the afternoon. No deposits required, so I'm going to touch on the reservation system. No deposit is required to make park reservations. There was a couple of major blogs yesterday that did have that information in it. That's proved to be false. I did get an answer from the Disney Moms panel last night, which I've included in the video. Lots and lots of experiences and dining events will not be happening at Disney World for the foreseeable future. There's a really long list of different events that won't be happening. I've got them all for you in the detailed news. And Universal, good old Universal, has added 3 months to all of their annual pass holders' annual passes. That was an email that was sent out to those guys yesterday, so well done Universal. And then finally, Aquatica is returning to full operation from July the 2nd. So at the moment they're only operational 5 days a week and limited park hours. Now they're going full days, 7 days a week, and they're going to be open from 9 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening. So that's good news for Aquatica. Okay, that is the brief news, the headlines. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit all. You'll get all this stuff 6 days a week, something else on a Sunday. If you're liking the video, if you're getting some value from it, please do hit that like button. The YouTube algorithm does like likes, so that will help the channel grow a little bit. This video will be pushed out to more people. Okay, let's get to the news. The number of new cases recorded across the US yesterday was 33,539, and that's the highest since May the 1st. There were 719 deaths yesterday in the US, and that trend still moves down. In Florida yesterday we had 3,822 new cases. That's 600 more than the previous daily highest number. There were 43 deaths recorded in Florida yesterday, and that moving average is still as it was 2 weeks ago. Those 3,822 new cases yesterday came from 21,561 tests, which is a 17.73% positive rate. There were 197 hospitalizations, which is 0.91% of all tests, and the 43 deaths are 0.2% of all tests. As I said yesterday, Orange County has now introduced an executive order for mandatory wearing of masks from last night. This is in addition to Osceola County's mandatory mask wearing from the middle of April. Ron DeSantis, though the governor of Florida, says that wearing masks should be voluntary. He pointed to freedoms under the Constitution. Weather over the next 10 days here in Orlando, it's going to be 94 degrees here today, that's 35 degrees centigrade. It's not going to get much cooler over the week, over the next 10 days, only going down to 92 during the day. We're expecting the usual thunderstorms in the afternoon. Recently they've only been very, very short. There was a lot to take in yesterday from Disney's announcement of how the park reservation system would work. I put out a video last night explaining how that did work, and I'm going to link to that in the top right now. One of the issues was a potential $200 deposit which would be required prior to any reservations being made. This requirement was included by one of the major theme park blogging sites, but it's proved to be false. I asked this question of the Disney Moms panel last night, and they have cleared it up that there is no deposit required. I'm afraid that's the only good news where Disney World is concerned today though. There's now a long list of experiences that won't be happening in the early days of reopening of Disney World. These have been provided courtesy of Blog Mickey. So these are the tours that now won't be available when Disney World reopens. This is the list of dining packages that won't be available first off. Again, another long list. And for those of you who like sweet things, all the dessert parties seem to have been discontinued as well for the moment. These are the make-believe and dress-up experiences which won't be operational when the parks reopen. They include Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and the Wonderland Tea Party at 1900 Park Fair. We end with nature experiences that won't be happening just yet in Epcot and in Animal Kingdom. In Universal news, their annual pass holders received an email yesterday with this information on it. This gives all annual pass holders an additional 3 months on their current annual pass. Finally, SeaWorld's Aquatica water park, which currently opens at 10 o'clock and closes at 5 o'clock, and the park closed on Mondays and Wednesdays, will now be going back to full operation. From the 2nd of July, they'll be open 7 days a week with opening hours of 9 AM through 7 PM. Okay, it does look like the US cases are going up steadily at the moment. Not great news as different states open up. Deaths, though, not keeping pace at all with those caseloads, so that's good news. So less hospitalizations overall and less deaths. In Florida, same kind of thing, only on a bigger scale, if you like, for cases. Almost 4,000 yesterday. Doesn't make for great reading. Happily, hospitalizations and deaths again aren't keeping pace with that, but they are lagging. I'm incredulous that Ron DeSantis saying that masks shouldn't be mandatory. I was hoping he was going to sign an executive order to make the whole state mandatory, but you know what he's doing now is saying to people, like, do it if you want. But there are executive orders in place for Orange and Osceola, so if you are out and about in Orange and Osceola, you have to wear them. So good. The experiences in Disney World, it kind of goes from bad to worse at Disney World. Not many perks really for people staying on site anymore, and when you get to the parks, it really is just a place to look at what's going on in the parks in terms of architecture and then get on rides. There's not much else going on. No character interaction, no fireworks, no parades. Yeah, I don't know. I've linked to the video that I put out maybe, I don't know, a week ago about should you come to Disney World in 2020. If you're in two minds, have a look at that video. There's a lot of information in there that might sway you one way or the other. Universal, great news. 3 months on the annual passes for Universal. Fantastic, well done Universal. They seem to be doing okay at the moment. I haven't been there yet. I am going to try and get there. I might bite the bullet and get those passes and get down there. I do like Universal. And then Aquatica returning to full-time daily operation. Great news. I just wonder if that's now a forerunner for SeaWorld and Busch Gardens now returning to full-time operation. I hope so, even though it's limited capacity. At least it puts a few more hours in the day for people to get in there and do their thing. Okay, that is the news for today. Again, I won't be here tomorrow. I will be putting something up tomorrow morning that's not news, so watch out for that. Until then, I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Take care. Cheers for now. See you then. Bye.